if you look at everybody that you know, if you look at them like they died, you might treat them differently. And this goes for all people. Like, if you're looking at your mom or your dad, your son or your daughter, your husband or your wife, your brother or your sister, stepmom, stepfather, stepparents, everybody, cousins, whatever. If you look at them as if they died, if you say to your, if you tell your family members that you love them, like, let's say you don't see people too often, and then, you tell them that you love them after you're not going to see them for a little bit. Most of the time people do say that to people they don't see in a while. Give them a hug or whatever, but is it weird, like, to give people hugs when you see them all the time? Or is that normal and the world has made that weird? Because that's, it's being soft. Being hardcore, hard, tough guy, that's in. That's the in thing to be. Because everyone that's like that is getting ready to have that wall come crashing down right in front of their face. The ones that are like that. Whether you're evil or kind-hearted and you just have that pride wall up, I understand. I'm still battling it myself. That pride wall. It's the one that doesn't allow you to feel your feelings. Because, you know why? Because you create your own prison cells. You create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 100, 150, 50. You create, I'd say, 1,000 cells. We're just going to stick with that. You create 1,000 different cells in your brain, prison cells, with each thought that you have. The reason I'm saying this is because I just, I was thinking that family members, there's family members that I feel like I want to tell them that I love them. But normally you don't, because you see them all the time. But it's a feeling that I have, like, inside. Because, let's face it, everybody does die. Sooner or later. So, if you have a brother, right? Like a stubborn one. If you tell them that you love them, even though they're angry, right? Those 3 words will have an effect on a person who's angry all the time. When they see you, it'll have an effect on them. One little effect at a time. One moment that happens in a day, out of 24 hours in one day, you can give someone a moment of, like, peace. Like, they're at peace in their own mind at that moment. Because they feel loved. Right? And then they feel more comfortable, because sometimes if you don't tell somebody that you love them, you'll feel uncomfortable. Telling people that you love them is the most natural thing that you can do in your entire life. However, pride puts that wall up. You don't want to let them know that. You don't want them to think that you love them. Please, they'll get over on you. they'll think you're soft, and they'll definitely get over on you now because they got the upper hand. And again, that right there. I would say it's a paragraph. You create prison cells with paragraphs. That would be paragraph number 1. Okay, I just created my own prison cell right there. Time to lock up, Robin. Go in your prison cell and dwell with those thoughts. When it's time to come out, when you're done putting up that damn wall with that dumbass thought that keeps you and prevents you from actually experiencing your own life, because that's all it does, is those future thoughts and worries and doubts and fears and everything that you've regretted that you did in the past, all those thoughts are just swirling around you. You're the core. All the thoughts are just swirling around you. You grab one, you take that, you put yourself in prison. Here comes another one. Let me grab that, put that over there. Here's your next prison cell. That way, anytime you're done going from that prison and you want to get out of there, you can walk down the hall, right? It's a narrow hall. If anybody's been in prisons, the cells to the halls to the cells, they're not that wide. So there's a narrow hall that you can keep going straight out the doors if you want to. Like, you can literally get out of the cell, just open up the door. As soon as you're done tormenting your dumbass self for thinking that way, step out of the cell, turn to the right, look at that hallway. It's so damn long. It's like 1,000 kilometers ahead. In the meanwhile, I mean, you got the room cell number 666 way up the hall. You got that room 777, which is, it's the only good room in the entire prison cell. It's once you're in the room, in the cell, in the prison, you can go to that one room, and then when you're in that room, you can actually go and create more rooms along with those that are positive energy feeding, even if you're in prison trying to help other people get out of their prison. You don't literally have to walk into a prison cell, but you can step into people's prisons. I step into people's prisons all the time. I'm trying to show them that they can actually open up their own door, the gate. They can shut the gate behind them, and then they can step out into the hall, and they can just walk straight ahead, straight to those double doors that open up to the warden's office. And then in the warden's office, he has doors to get right outside. Like his office is right there, right at the front. As soon as you step out of the prison and leave, there you go. He's there. He steps into his office. He's the boss. He's the one that puts the prisoners where they go. He's the one that has people come visit prisoners. Like when they're being visited for family time. And then he also sets up people to come into the prisons to help the prisoners get out of their prison cell. But what you do is you keep making up these paragraphs. It's only in your head. You catch the swirling thoughts that are just constant. Thoughts are forever, eternal. They've always been, they always will be. They are now. Now you can sit there and be quiet like this. I'm sure you're still thinking something. Like, oh no, don't be quiet for too long. I feel like staring at you. Or somebody like, yeah, be quiet. Just shut up. I want to stare at you. Or you can say, you can just flick the channel off. You can turn the volume down. Or you can pay attention and continue to listen. That way you can learn how to control your own thoughts. When they run rampant on you, they try to run rampant on you, don't they? It's a room of 1,000 spirits. When you have 1,000 cells that you put yourself in, You're the one that creates every single spirit inside of those cells, because you can walk down the hall. It's narrow. It's straight. It's a long ass distance. I mean, or you can walk in the wide, broad street ones that it's only right up the block. The distance to get there is right up the block. Plus, this path is wide. It's easy. It's a roller. The street rolls by itself. You just got to stand there, and the belts. You know how the belts, conveyor lines or something. I forget what it's called. But you can just stand there and be like that, because it's so much easier. You don't even have to breathe. You basically just have to breathe, and that's it. You'll get there. It's like easy street. It's careless free highway, 223 to get there. Or you can do your own walking, and you can breathe at the same time, but you can walk down that path yourself. It takes a little bit longer, because the path is further down. It's further down. It's more narrow. You gotta stay straight and walk until you get to the end. It's not easy, but once you get to that door, here's the thing: once you get to the warden's office, and you step in as the warden, and then you get to leave and go home. When you go home and you're in a present moment, right now, at this present moment, I truly didn't look at it this way. At 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like this. I've never been a number paying attentioner type of person. But what are you gonna do? I mean, it's like, what the hell? I go to Dunkin' Donuts today, and I'm just getting my coffee and lunch, because Wawa was too packed, and then what am I looking at again? Oh, well, it's like 7-Eleven. All right, it's 7-Eleven, but that's not what I'm looking at. I was looking at the time. Time was 1:55. Can you see that? No, promise. I mean 11:55 and 30 seconds. That's up here somewhere. Which has the number 1, 5, and 3 in it. It does. It has 7-Eleven, which is 9/11. It's order number 11. It's register 2, which is the second register. But the other one was better. 199. But when the numbers pop out at you like that, I just consider it. That's all. So your prison cell that you create in your own head, because you don't want to tell somebody that you love them when you do, isn't that torment? When you start treating people like they died, when you see them to their face, you'll have a different feeling about people. It's just a mindset. All you got to do is look. Do you want somebody else to shape your mind, or you want to shape it yourself? Don't you know that you need to learn how to do things in life? They don't just come natural. Not everything comes natural. So you have to actually work on it. How do you work on it? Well, you begin by knowing what your old habit is. Stop the old habit, create the new pattern, and then be consistent. Just change it. It's like when you drive and you see a brick wall, do you not floor it to hit that brick wall? Or do you turn off because you can see it? So turn off. Go down the other path, create the new patterns that you're doing. And then when you do that, you'll notice that it blends in to become natural, a natural feeling that you've created with your own mind. without anybody else influencing you, without you taking paragraphs of what other people have said into the prison cell and put a number on it. And then each time you want to go into prison cell number 10, just remember that paragraph that somebody told you. Go ahead, but door will be wide open. It's wide open. The door is even wide open for you, where you can just walk right in, and you can close the cell right behind yourself if you so choose, and then you can sit there for as long as you feel like dwelling on that damn thought. So dwell on the thought, stay in the prison cell, and you know, you'll get tired, you get miserable, you get depressed, you'll get bitter. That's how you do develop anger, by the way, is by allowing other people's thoughts to trickle in and affect you and bother you and dictate your moves and what you do. When you can separate, just sever every paragraph that anybody has ever said, because all that is demons being transferred from one mouth to your ears, and then now it's swirling around up in your head, and you can pick it, and it's like the lottery. You know how it's like balls just like, and then here comes your thought. It's like you suck out a thought, and then you get Powerball number 35, and then Powerball number 35 is prison cell 35, and that paragraph that someone thought it can have a name attached to it, it can have a face, or it can have an old memory, it can have some kind of trauma. That's another prison cell, trauma. The financial prison cell, man, that is number one. The number one prison cell is finances. Is it not? What does everybody complain about? I don't have enough money. Well, except for the elite. I'm talking about us regular people. Don't have enough money. Don't have enough time. Got to pay bills. Got to work. I don't feel like working, but I have to. I got to get up. You got to just suck it up and deal with it. Make the best of work while you're there with whatever it is you got to do. Like, the hell. I'm killing time now with this job. For the past year, I've been killing time. My entire career, I've been racing against time because I've always been a sub. Always. I get a certain amount for whatever the job is, and then I do it as fast as I can, and make like twice the amount of money in one day and take off the next day. And that's the way I've worked to free up my time. It's different now because I got tired of looking for work. I got tired of worrying about the finances. I just wanted something steady. And here I am, something steady. Because of me being on this job, I've gotten closer to Philadelphia. I've gotten closer to Center City, my roots. I've gotten close. I literally hopped on the scene on the crisis acting scene at near the Temple University Hospital near Erie and Broad Street with that shooting, and the 6 officers got shot. That they, you know what I mean, the script that they got shot August 14th, 2019. Without this job, I would have never been right there. So there's something about this job that needs me here at this moment. I'm not really doing anything that's important. I mean, anybody can really do what I'm doing now, and that's one of the mental battles I go through also, because when I'm a sub and when I work faster and I feel like I get more accomplished in a day, when I'm done, I feel more energized because it's like you got something accomplished. And then plus when you can take off the next day, it's like hell yeah. But it took skill to do it, and you have to be fast, and not everybody can just go in and knock out an entire upstairs floor in a day with like foyer crown and everything, and hanging all those doors and trimming them, and then take off the next day. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the mindset. My mindset has always been hurry up, speed, get it done fast, but at the same time, keep that speed, hurry up, Harry demon in check. You only need to speed up when you need to, not when you don't need to. It's like sitting there with 10 cups of coffee in you. You don't need that feeling, but that's what you do when you put yourself in prison. That's what you do when you hurry up and your mind is already 10 cups of coffee and you're hurrying. It's not going to go well. You gotta tame that little bastard. All right, you gotta tame it. Doesn't matter how wild your thoughts run. Everybody's thoughts run rampant like this. It's non-stop. Tick, tick, tick. Every time you breathe, there's a thought. Right or wrong. For some people, they think that's not normal. Like, doctor, I don't know what's wrong. I'm thinking so much I can't stop. I know it's perfect for you. We're going to give you some Prozacs. And we're going to get you zombified because you're awake and you can tell your thought. We need to slow you down. No. It's healthy to have thoughts running rampant. It's not healthy to not know that those thoughts are running rampant and not to know that they're not even yours. Well, 1/3 of them are. You have these thoughts, those thoughts, and your thoughts. It's these and those, good and evil, and it's you, the vessel. It's in the middle. You're the one that gets a hold of each one of those thoughts. When you're able to channel the thoughts into the right direction, well, then you can start to ease up on yourself and relax because you're now controlling the conveyor belt of thoughts that are just constant. They don't stop, okay? Just so everybody knows, in case you thought that was a problem, your thoughts will constantly flow like rivers of water. And if you want to put up like a Hoover Dam with those thoughts that run fluently, because that's what Jonathan Kleck is, he is a dam wall. That wall is going to get broken down. He will probably be the last person on planet Earth to repent. I said that about Stephen James and Sean, but then I started to realize he actually started to repent. I can see it and hear it. You can't hide it from me, Steve. And that's why I backed off of him, and that's why I understand. But Kleck he's that character. He's that one that no, Kleck, you're not getting away with it. But you know what he does with his thoughts? He channels them too. Just ask him. Ask Kleck if he thinks all day long. We all think. He channels them to the left side. You're supposed to channel them to the right. Kleck channels them to the left. When he does that, the left is not denying your flesh. The right is denying your flesh. You know that there's times that you have to deny your flesh because of the thoughts that you have. If you didn't deny your flesh with the thoughts that you have, you're going to think those thoughts are yours. Because you're not denying the thoughts. When you deny it, those thoughts hit a brick wall, right? And the other thoughts flow through. If you want to put up a dam, put them up on those thoughts. Put the freaking wall up on them. Let the clean water. It's like a filter. It's just a filter in your head. It's a wall. You imagine a stream of water flowing through. They're your thoughts. If you want to put up a dam and block out the negative thoughts, because they have to go back and be recycled and filtered out. Let the clean thoughts come through. Deny your flesh. Let the clean thoughts come through. Now, not everybody can deny their flesh. It's as simple as, instead of taking the cigarette hit, just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Just do it periodically. You don't have to always do it all the time. You don't force yourself to have to feel like you have to do things. It's kind of a mind trick when you manipulate your own thoughts to get to that point, and then once you get to that point, now it's starting to become second nature. It's because you really got to trick yourself into believing that denying your flesh feels better when you know damn well it don't. But when you do deny your flesh, because you tricked yourself into believing that, once you experience it, it is actually true. It actually is true, because the more you just kick Satan in his teeth with his tactics that he's trying to just throw at you, you can't really blame him. It's his nature. That's what he does for a living. He gives you everything. He's so loyal. He gives you everything that you don't want. Think about that. The people that give you things that you do not want constantly come to you, handing you stuff, giving you stuff that you don't need, you don't want. That's like Satan. He kind of, he cares in a sense. He cares that you pay attention to him. So he'll throw everything at you. Let your thoughts flow through. You can pick up the ones that you want to and meditate on them, because that's like the feeling that you get during the day. Well, let's tell you personally. My feelings I get during the day is I hop on to certain thoughts like a boat, and I just go with it and ride it and just flow through for a while. I can float on one of the thoughts for a good hour, like just feeling the momentum that you get from. Well, my thoughts are mainly the ones that I ride on are the future thoughts of how the world is going to be. And I love that people doubt it, because that's what you just had in your head right now. Is how can you tell what the world is corrupt? It's sickening. It ain't changing. Well, that's, hey, oh ye of little faith. You say it ain't changing. I say it is changing. I say it will change, and it's happening. It's already changing. It's already almost finished changing. That's how close we are to the change. But you can't see it, can you? How are you supposed to? You can only see what I show you on this channel with what I'm saying. And what I show you, well, it's what I see as well. But I see more because the clips that I take, it's from watching the entire video, listening to every other word that is. It's like if I did a timestamp on everything that I need to point, I'll never get anything done. There's so many times where I'm like, this point, I'm actually resting a little bit more because of that reason. I'm slowing down on all the information I'm gathering on fraudulent activity. I'll take the main parts if something catches my eye, but at this point, everything is where it's at. I'm just sitting back waiting until Kleck is finished with all that damn work that he has to do. He's working his arse off. He ain't lying when he says that. He is not lying when he says that part. Everything else, flat out lie. So, look at people as if they died. Trust me. Look at your wife as if she passed away when you are being selfish and not helping her with just anything. Go ahead and look at her as if she just died and see if you are going to continue to not just help a hand with something simple. Does she do your laundry? Why don't you put it away then? You know what I mean? Like, who the hell feels like doing laundry? I thank my wife for doing my laundry because it's a thankless job. And then if I'm there while she's doing it, I'll put it away. You know what I'm saying? Like, clean up after yourself. Are you the kind of person that leaves dishes in the sink? I don't even know why we have a dishwasher. We never used it. When I'm done with something, I clean it. Dry it. Put it away. When you let it stack up, like, you're creating a prison right there. Like, How many times are you going to look at it and walk by, like, oh, man, I got to clean that. Walk by it an hour later, like, I don't even want to go in the kitchen. I got to clean that. It's a prison that you're creating for yourself because of the pride wall that you got. Stop worrying about other people. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop thinking about what other people have said. Just let it go. Be yourself. Do you feel like telling somebody you love them when you truly do, but you feel like I don't know, awkward because it doesn't come out of your mouth? Just try it once. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see the difference. You'll feel the feeling. You'll experience what it feels like to actually live life. Because you also bring down a barrier with their wall that they're putting up. It's amazing how much you can create when you just think. Look, it's your life. You live it, right? Don't you want to enjoy your life as you're living? Even though the way the world is right now, and it's disgusting with all the lies, and I'm tired of waiting too, because I want my rest and I want to be able to start communicating with people like face to face and really talking to people that need help and actually seeing the people that have been on YouTube with this. Like, once the truth is finally out there and all of the lies and everybody who was hired to do this exact job to troll people and just set up lies and everything is finished, when that's all done, how great of a world is that? It's all done. The truth is known. We're at rest. We rule because we had faith in God. Who else is going to do it? Like, if you're waiting for somebody to take care of your problems, you're not waiting on God. You're waiting on Satan hand and foot. You're letting him do it for you. Just, trick yourself if you have to get it started. To kick the old habit of being stubborn or cold-hearted. Everybody's going to change anyway. I'm just trying to help people get into the flow of it. And then once it's there, it's like you hit the ground running. The rubber hits the road and you're just moving along. So many people are going to fall flat on their face, stand in shame, deal with that feeling, and then come to the part where I'm telling you that I'm trying to get you to be at before we get there. But so be it. It's supposed to be this way. So many people aren't going to see it until it hits them. And they're going to be rude and ignorant during the time before it happens. And then when it happens, I'm much forgiving.